Hey, I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, wherever you're watching this in the world. Thank you for watching it. And what you're going to learn today is the 5 top tips, or my 5 top tips for saving money and therefore creating more money for you. Now, I know this COVID-19 has hit us hard, so saving money has become the topic for the day. So control the controllables. If you cannot control the amount of money coming in, you can most certainly control the amount of money going out. So the first thing you need to do is you need to review. So you need to have a look at your monthly spending. What are you spending every single month? Every single month. What are you spending? What are you spending in your business? What are you spending in your personal life? And you need to put this into a spreadsheet, very, very simple spreadsheet. You might be going, oh, spreadsheets. But if you really want to save money, you really need to do this task. If you don't want to spend the time doing it, then outsource it. Get a bookkeeper, get an accountant to really have a look at these numbers for you. List down what are your regular monthly outgoings. What are you spending on food every month? What are you spending on water rates? What are you spending on council tax? What are you spending on your mortgage? I know you might be able to tell me that off the top of your head, but let's get precise. Let's have a look at those exact numbers. What can we do about the current situation? Is there anything we can do about the current situation? So gym memberships, Amazon subscriptions, Audible, do you use them? If you don't, kick them out. You've got to get rid of them. We're trying to reduce your expenses now, and doing that. So now once we've reduced some of our expenses, offloaded some of the things that we're spending money on, the next thing we need to do is we need to optimize. So this is a great stage to really, well, to be honest with you, learn about saving money, and also a painful a painful lesson, to be honest with you, in the fact that you could have saved money sooner. So this is reviewing, so optimizing your insurances. So having a look at your insurances. Again, get an Excel spreadsheet, list down your cover. What cover do you currently get? Can you get that same exact cover for a cheaper price? And I'm not going to guarantee that you can, but it's worthwhile going on some of the price comparison websites and researching. 9 times out of 10, though, I would say you're going to get a cheaper quote. And sometimes 10, 20, if not 30% lower is the results that I've seen from that. Can you get a better mortgage deal? I know now's probably not the right time, and the banks will be asking a lot more prying questions to understand your financial situation if you are trying to do a remortgage. Now, with regards to a remortgage, what you might be able to do is you might be able to negotiate a lower rate. Now, that lower rate could reduce your monthly outgoing. So all we're doing is we're trying to optimize the expenses that we feel like we need to have. Now, I do have other videos on mortgages and what I feel about mortgages and how we can look at mortgages. And I have a different view on mortgages rather than mortgaging up to the tilt, but I'm going to cover that in another video. Number 3, what we need to do is we need to reduce. So we have lots of variable costs, and variable costs are what I would class as like food. So our food bill one month might be £300, next month might be £400, £500, £600. Like it goes up and down like a yo-yo. We might be eating out more now. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, we've actually been eating out less. So we've been having less takeouts. We've been eating in more, which is great. So that's actually reduced our food spending. So have a look at what you're spending your money on. Can you buy cheaper products? If you're buying the top brands in the cleaning products, have a look on the label, see what the actual ingredients are, and see whether you can buy the same ingredients in a cheaper product. Again, 9 times out of 10, you will be able to find a cheaper product unless you are already using the cheapest product. So again, these are just about reducing some of the wastage. So when you're cooking food, and let's say, for example, so my child Tobias is always leaving food on his table. So he's never eating all the food that we put out for him. Now, I don't chuck that food away. I always put that into a Tupperware for the next day, and then I will give that to him the lunch the next day. We tend to batch cook, so we tend to cook for actually 4, 5, 6 people in theory. So we cook for six people as 6 meals. We eat 3 meals. So my wife, my 2 boys, they're one, if that makes sense, and then my wife, then I have one, and then we have that the next day for lunch, and that really helps us reduce our waste. We use an app called Meal Lime, so Meal Ime, so MEALIME. And that's a fantastic app that will help you reduce your wastage, because it will build you a shopping list of all the ingredients that you need across all of the recipes that you need for the whole week for the same amount of people. And it's absolutely fantastic, and it's been an absolute lifesaver for us. Okay, getting some of the ingredients during lockdown has been difficult, but it's a fantastic way again to reduce that spending. Number 4, my favorite: save. Save becomes a habit. Spending also becomes a habit. When you get into the habit of spending and you get the release of the endorphins when you make that purchase, it's the experience of making that purchase that releases the endorphins. So buying that new car, wow, I've just bought a new Tesla. Wow, I've just bought a new X5. Wow, I've just bought a new BMW. Wow, I've just bought this. I've just bought that. I've just bought the latest iPad, the latest this, the latest iPhone. Wow, I feel fantastic. Great. But you've got no money. Reduce it, get rid of it, do what you can. And this is where you've got to get rid of those spending habits, and that's why we do that first, and then we move into saving and get into good habits. You don't need to save thousands and thousands of pounds a month. If you can save thousands and thousands of pounds a month, then please do. As Jason Greystone says, my mentor, you should have at least 3 to 6 month buffer, is what he calls it. I like to call it as a cash reserve. Being from the financial background, a cash reserve. So we have a reserve in place for any eventualities. So before COVID-19, I did that. I'm actually kind of regretting it because I don't qualify for any financial support whatsoever. But that's another story. But the fact is that I put myself in such a very comfortable position because I had 6 months worth of cash available to me to help me weather the storm. Okay, those cash deposits are massively depleting now, but I have been optimizing my expenses. I've reviewed my expenses. I've reduced my expenses where I can. Okay, I will not be taking out a mortgage extension and deferring my mortgage because the cost of that is just ridiculous, and I wouldn't recommend you do the same. If you can afford to pay your mortgage, then please do. So yeah, make sure you've got your 6 months buffer, but then don't stop saving. Keep saving. And that then leads beautifully into the next step. Now, this is not investment advice. I'm not recommending you to do this, but I am recommending you look into this and do some more research. So when investing, as my mentor Jason Grayson says, you need to buy it like groceries, not like perfume. So it's not like a one-off purchase. You need to buy it every month, every single month, every single month, every single month. So just get used to that. And some of the returns you can you could potentially get are anywhere from 5% up to 10% north of that. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee any of those numbers, and I'm just using some of those numbers in the illustration. But if you look at the S&P 500 since its inception, it has increased. It's an average above 7% since its inception. I actually don't know. I haven't checked the recent numbers as to where that is as an average, but that's what you can not what you can expect, but what you could potentially get. So again, do that every single month. And if you're investing by yourself, you don't have somebody creaming off the top. So if you invest via an ISA as well, you're getting the tax-free savings. So what's that? I can't remember what the total tax-free savings. I haven't looked at 10,000. I think you can save every year, and then any of the gains that you make on that 10,000 are free. And then just to give you an illustration of how this works, so why I believe this to be better than a pension. Pensions are still good, and this is not to tell you to take your money out of your pension or anything like that. So this is not financial advice, but it is definitely worthwhile you doing the research and going getting financial advice for this. So just to have a look at the numbers, if you were to invest £1,000 a year, that's it, £1,000 a year, at 7%, so if you could achieve a 7% return, then you will have £758,988.45 at the end, and that's after 25 years. So 25 years investing £1,000 a year, and that's on the compound interest calculator. And you really need to understand compound interest to really understand this process. If you were to double it, you would have £1,517,976.91. So basically 1.5 million for short. And if you were to invest £10,000 a year at 7% as an average, you will have 7.589 million. So 7.589 million. Now, for those of you that are spending £10,000 a year on a car, and I know lots of you are, if you've got a BMW X5 or bigger, you will be spending that on your car, on fuel, on tax, on insurance, on maintenance, on tyres, on the whole kabang. You will be spending that. Now, if you could reduce that expense to, I don't know, let's say £1,000 a year, then that's £9,000 a year you could invest. And there's a reason why you're not a millionaire yet, and that's because you're not investing the right way. Now, I'm not saying that you're guaranteed to get 7%. I'm just using that for illustration purposes, and to get you excited really as to the potential that you could achieve. Now, where you could be achieving 7 north of that in your pension, that's great as a 7% return, but you have to remember that the pension companies are also taking their deductions from that, and that as a compound effect will reduce your return. But I'll save that for other videos, and I think it's rather interesting to have a look at that. But just by saving your money and controlling the controllables, i.e. stop spending the money that you've got, look at the impact that can have. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Please do like and share and comment in the comments box. It'd be fantastic to have a chat with you. Take care. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.